want to go to Rabbi Aryeh Lightstone right now. As a former senior advisor to the U.S. Ambassador to Israel, David Friedman. Rabbi, it's so good to have you. I know you and a guest had moved to a bomb shelter in Tel Aviv this morning. How are things now?
Well, we've been in and out of bomb shelters for the last 12 hours. It was earlier this morning on Fox and Friends First, where the actual Iron Dome intercepted a rocket that felt like it was over our head. Our house actually shook. We have a WhatsApp group with the whole family. We've got 4 kids and lots of nieces and nephews and parents and siblings, etc., making sure everybody has access to a bomb shelter. One of the conversations you never want to have is one of my kids wanted to go play basketball in the park, which is a reasonable activity for a 15-year-old boy. He has to be within 90 seconds of a shelter that he can get to, and that's a terrifying conversation to have with anyone.
We all already hear that 300,000 reservists have been called up in Israel. Maybe more could be called on. The nation is at a state of war. The defense minister has said, we are now recognizing the obvious. We are fighting animals, and we will act accordingly. This escalates as we speak. What do you make of it?
I make of this, Israel is coming out of the worst 48 hours, certainly of my lifetime. And if you take as an American since 9/11, I haven't felt this confused and bewildered. But just like America on 9/13 or 9/14 got its footing correct and decided to reassert itself as a superpower of the world, Israel will reassert itself as a superpower of the region. And it will do that effectively and convincingly. The challenge is on the streets today. The streets are empty as though it is Yom Kippur. I don't know a single family who does not have a husband, an uncle, a father, or a child, or multiple who are currently serving. Those who are aged out of serving have gone anyways. This is the single largest call-up in Israel's history, and the will and the determination to win is palpable in the street. If you are not serving, you are helping families who have somebody who's serving. You're packaging food, you're buying deodorant, you're getting cell phone chargers, you name it. Everybody's pitching in some way, shape, or form.
You know, Rabbi, are you surprised that Human Rights Watch says that the Gaza closure recommended by Israeli defense officials is essentially a call to commit a war crime, and we cannot let that go by, quoting there. What did you make of that?
I make of it that Fox News is too smart to quote Human Rights Watch as an actual organization that has any credibility on the world stage. Human Rights Watch is an anti-Semitic, anti-Israel waste of space. They exist in order to give cover to people who rape and murder and pillage, such as Hamas. There are, if you can look at legal law experts in terms of war, the fact that Israel consistently keeps electricity and water and other actions on for Gaza is going above and beyond. I don't know what your feed looks like, but me watching Thai workers being beheaded gleefully, grandmothers having it live streamed on Facebook so their grandchildren can watch them executed by Hamas. I don't have the appropriate word that would be acceptable for a rabbi or for live TV, to kidnap toddlers, to rape women who went to a concert. And the concern is about how the Gazans are feeling at this moment. This is beyond insane. Let's be extremely clear about one thing. The greatest victims of Hamas are the Palestinian people, but they are the victims of Hamas. They are not the victims of Israel. Israel will do what it must do and should do in order to protect its civilians and its citizens.
And we should stress,
and let's also not forget that there are Americans there too.
As well, the Human Rights Watch did not condemn any of the actions on the part of Hamas. So
no, they probably rooted it on. I have nothing but revulsion for people who don't have moral clarity and couch themselves with this made-up title that sounds impressive, but indeed is just a way to go ahead and decide that you are promoting somebody else's propaganda.
Do you worry about that, though, that, you know, usually in the past in some incidents involving Israel and the world sees terror and acts against it, Israel maintains support globally for about a week, Rabbi, and then it starts, you know, bordering out. People say, all right, go slow, you've done enough, you've responded enough. I don't know if it's going to go that way now, Rabbi, but this is literally happening within 24 to 48 hours. And there will be others, as you probably suspect. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to make it a week. I saw yesterday in New York City and today in Chicago, people chanting and cheering Now, what is it that they're chanting and cheering for in the streets as they say, free, free Palestine? They're chanting and cheering the raping, the pillaging, the kidnapping, and the murdering of civilians. This isn't a dispute that is political. This isn't a dispute that is geographical. That is the promotion of the worst war crimes that we have seen against the Jewish people since the Holocaust. That's reprehensible. The advantage is I hope that the leadership in Israel will say, when you go that far, you're so far out of what the Overton window would allow, what you say does not matter to me. They do not need to be lectured by the Chinese on human rights. They do not need to be lectured by the Iranians on human rights. Israel is a moral democracy. America, we share values with it. It will make the correct decision. I hope they'll make the correct decision for their civilians and not give a darn what the Europeans say.
Rabbi, be well. I hope your family stays safe as well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.